Today we're going to be making 3 different desserts, all of which require just 5 ingredients or less. These desserts are so good. They're really easy to make. They're likely going to be more wholesome than any store-bought versions that you might try. I really can't wait for you guys to give these recipes a try. I know you're going to love them. As usual, the breakdown to all of the recipes can be found on the blog. I'll leave those links for you in the description box below. Now let's get started. First up, we're going to make these super gooey salted caramel brownies. The 5 ingredients you're going to need for this are some soft dates, cocoa or cacao powder, roasted pecans, some dairy-free dark chocolate, and some coconut oil, and optional here is some flaked sea salt. We're going to begin by coarsely chopping half a cup of dairy-free dark chocolate. Then we're going to remove the seeds from 2 cups of soft dates. If your dates aren't soft, you want to soak it in warm water for 10 minutes first, then drain it. We're then going to add this to a food processor along with 2 tablespoons of coconut oil and a tablespoon of water. Give it a blitz, stopping on occasion to scrape down the sides, and repeat this until the dates are a smooth, sticky consistency. Then we're going to add half a cup of roasted pecans and a pinch of salt. Blend this again, stopping to scrape down the sides a couple of times, but with this one we do want some of the chunks of pecans to remain. We're then going to remove the blades from the food processor and use it as a mixing bowl, adding in half a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder and the chocolate chunks. Give it a mix until everything is well combined. A little side note for anybody who doesn't have a food processor, you don't need one to make these brownies. All you need to do is make sure that your dates are soft enough that you can just mash it with the back of a fork. You can finely chop the pecans and then add all of the ingredients to a bowl and give it a mix. It's a little bit more manual labor, but the end result is much the same. Then we're going to line a baking dish with some parchment paper and add to it the brownie mix. Press it down and smooth it out evenly, and a tip here is to use a spatula if you have one, because it's not going to stick to the batter as much as if you use the back of a spoon or your fingers. This mixture is super sticky. It is delicious if you enjoy it just as is, but I think it's even more divine when it's been baked. So here I'm going to bake it for about 10 minutes at 180 Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit. When you've removed it from the oven, you can sprinkle on top a bit of chopped roasted pecans and that optional sprinkle of sea salt flakes. Then let it cool for 15 minutes before you cut it. These brownies are really dense, so I like to cut them into little bite-sized pieces and grab 1 or 2 when my sweet tooth strikes, but you can also cut these into larger squares as well. Here we drizzled on a little bit of melted dark chocolate to make it extra fancy, because can you really ever go wrong with more chocolate? These brownies are super ooey, they're gooey, they're fudgy, and it's best kept in the fridge if you manage to not eat them all in one go. This recipe is easily one of our newest obsessions. Next up, we're going to make this baked fruit crumble. The 5 ingredients you're going to need for this are rolled oats, some coconut oil, a bit of brown sugar, some cinnamon, and your fruit of choice like peaches, pears, any kind of berry, or other stone fruits work great as well. To make the topping, we're going to add 1 cup of rolled oats to a bowl along with a tablespoon of brown sugar, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 2 tablespoons of melted coconut oil. Then we're going to give it a stir and set it aside. After we've washed our fruits, we're going to chop them up into little bite-sized pieces. The smaller the pieces, the quicker they're going to cook and the softer they're going to be. To make about 6 servings of this crumble, you're going to need about 6 cups worth of fruit. And when it is cut, just place it onto your baking tray. If you're using little ramekins like we are here, you want to fill it right to the top because it's going to deflate as the fruits cook and release their moisture. Then we're going to top each one evenly with some of the reserved oatmeal mixture, and you can sprinkle on some optional chopped raw pecans too if you'd like. Then we're going to bake it in the oven at 180 Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until the juices are bubbling, the oatmeal is golden, and that fruit is tender. We're going to let it cool for a few minutes before enjoying it as is, or if you'd like to make it a little bit extra, you can top it with some plant-based ice cream or yogurt. We made a few varieties here just to show you how adaptable and modifiable this recipe can be depending on what fruit you want to add. This is one of those desserts too that's perfect for any time of year. The final recipe that we're gonna make are these tropical tie-dye style popsicles. This recipe calls for only 4 ingredients actually, one of which is a can of full-fat coconut milk, some frozen raspberries, some pineapple juice, and a fresh lime. We're gonna begin by measuring out half a cup of pineapple juice from a jar, or alternatively, you could use peach juice, lychee juice, or any other juice that you'd like. To a bowl, we're gonna add the coconut milk, half of a lime, which has been juiced, and the fruit juice. Then give it a whisk and add it to a popsicle mold. Here, I first had to transfer it to a jug that had a spout so that I could pour it easily without it spilling. And you wanna fill up the molds, leaving about 1 centimeter of room at the top, which is where we're gonna add the raspberries later. But first, we're gonna place it in the freezer for about 1 hour to 1.5 hours so that the liquid starts to solidify a bit. Meanwhile, we're gonna stew a cup of frozen raspberries, which you can do either in the microwave or on the stove, just heating it until it's cooked and soft, and then we're gonna remove it from the heat and let it cool. After the hour or so is up, we can remove the popsicles from the freezer and spoon on some of that cooled raspberry mix. Because the coconut liquid has started to crystallize, the raspberry mixture isn't gonna sink straight to the bottom, so we're gonna use a popsicle stick to gently push it down and create that swirl pattern. And then we're gonna carefully position the popsicle stick in the center. Then we're gonna return the mold to the freezer and let the popsicles freeze completely, which could take anywhere between 4 to 8 hours. When you're ready to enjoy it, you can remove it from the freezer, run it under some warm water so that it pops right out, and then enjoy it right away. This is a perfect dessert or snack as we enter the warmer months, and it's perfect for both kids and adults alike. I hope you've enjoyed these recipes that we've shared with you today and that you do give at least one, if not all 3 of them, a try. And if you do, be sure to tag us on Instagram so that we can see. I think that's it for today. Pickup Limes signing off. Ooh, if you enjoyed the video, it always means a lot to us when you give it a thumbs up. Pickup Limes signing off. We'll see you in the next video. Yeah, okay, ready?
I think you need a spout.
Oh, we're gonna try it anyway.
Okay. Okay. Oh.
Oh,
no.
shoot. Oh no.